Welcome back to the Modern Warfare 2 Online Pro Circuit Live. I'm your host, Fwiz. We've got Hastr0 in the booth coming from E3 this evening, and you are watching the championship matchup here for the MLG Pro Circuit on Modern Warfare 2. They're playing tonight over the Sony PlayStation Network free of charge, and so far it's been a huge matchup as we've seen Influence just coming out the gates in a dominating fashion, showing why they have been in the winners finals and winners bracket all along. Right now, they lead the series 5-2 as we're advancing into Game 8 here. Rush, with their backs up against the wall, need to do something here quickly, as now Influence is only going to need one more game to win this matchup. I know we've been saying it, but as these matches go further and further and it becomes more dismal for Rush, Hastr0, what do you think the calm approach and keeping everybody steady is the key here? Or do you try to get them fired up here now to turn something around here? Because they looked really good there on Search and Destroy Invasion, a game type that's really not favorable to them. And they were doing all the right things there throughout the game, but they stopped. They cut short. They were leading 3-2 in the series, and they let Influence bounce back into it, put it in overtime, and then ultimately they were able to Influence pull that game out there on Search and Destroy. So we're moving into Demolition Scrapyard. Tell me a little bit about what Rush is going to need to do as far as strategy to get a win out here, because the time is now.
Yeah, Influence is up 5-2. They've been in winner bracket this whole event. The playoffs, they haven't lost one match. They're doing what they do best, and that's coming up clutch, coming into that overtime, tied 3-3. It's tough to beat these guys right now. And seeing as how they haven't been beat, the entire playoffs, it's going to be rough for Rush to come back and win 4 straight. But nothing like that is kind of out of question. Teams have won 4 straight games before, and we've seen it happen before in countless MLG matches throughout the different games. So you definitely can't count Rush out right now. Coming into Scrapyard Demolition, I think they're really going to have to get their bearings straight. It really is going to take all of their might to come back and win 4 straight games. But like I said, it can be done. Scrapyard Demolition is a fierce game type to play. You really have to rely on your slaying abilities right here to get a plan off and get the other team kind of in a little bit of a spawn trap. So it's going to be interesting to see what Rush does. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Influence might have the upper hand right now. They're up 3 maps on Rush. It's just going to be an interesting game right here on Scrapyard Demolition.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said before, anybody can come back here, especially if you get a little too overconfident and start relaxing on your game, and Rush takes opportunity of that. You never know. This could very easily still go to a game 11. But right now we are on Demolition Scrapyard, and how these guys got here earlier in the bracket in the winners finals, we first saw these two teams square off, and it was a close series at that time, 3-2, right, where Influence was able to just kind of take out that game 5 on Search and Destroy. We did see Rush was a lot more of a powerful team there. The games were close every time. So I expect that they're warming up here. They're going to do something big on Scrapyard. They've got some solid slayers on their team, and slaying is huge on Demolition, and especially on Scrapyard. We see a lot on Scrapyard. You see the spawn traps, Hastr0. Talk to the viewers a little bit about some of the spawn traps we will see on Scrapyard and whatnot.
Well, both teams are going to be spawning, in the office and the warehouse, and those are on the other sides of the map, but they're directly across from each other. They're really straight away, and you kind of have 3 big choke points. One's in the middle of the map, one's on the right side, and one's on the left, and those are kind of long driveways, and then you have a couple buildings on either flank. So the spawn trap that you kind of want to get the other team is kind of pin them on the sides and also straight away in the middle, and that's kind of what you want to get done. And it's kind of easy to do if you're able to take out the entire team. If you get 3 or 4 down, you can move your team into a position to get the other team in a spawn trap. And, it's really tough on the offensive side, though, because in the meantime, you're going to have to get a bomb down, whether it be an A or B. It's going to be really tough to get that 4th player in there while you're still trying to maintain a spawn trap. So that's what this map is all about, getting to the major key positions. One is on the kind of on the ramp side on the white wall, what a lot of people call the head glitch, that kind of area. And when you're on the other side, you're spawn trapping, you want to be kind of aiming towards the front door of the office and the side doors, kind of a side window and a side door. So those are kind of like the choke points that you want to lock down first before you move in for a bomb plant or when you're defending the offensive side.
And just to let people know that might not be familiar with the term head glitch, it's just when a player gets in an advantageous position that only exposes their head while still giving them range of view on their weapon to put shots on people. So getting people out of head glitches is tremendously tough. Exactly. And you'll see a couple of them here on Scrapyard. The reason we're spending a little bit more time with you here, we're switching hosts right now. Rush was previously hosting, and now it's going to be Influence's host. Rush decided to go with the top side here early on Scrapyard. And let's talk a little bit demolition and generic Hastro. Demolition, it always seems that bomb site A is the favorable bomb site to get. When you get a bomb plant off, you get a time extension, which allows for more time to plan at the next bomb site. A major thing that players will have to decide is when do you stop going for the aggressive B pushes and just settle for A and get that time extension, especially on Scrapyard by B is just tremendously tough to set up on and get in a plant.
Yeah, I like to say no more than 2 pushes, and you want to do that as a team. You want to make an initial push towards the B bomb site on most maps because that's usually the tougher bomb site to grab. So you make one initial push as a team. If you get a few players taken out, typically the last player, the last 2 players left alive on your team should wait for the rest of the team to spawn in, and then you make one more push. And I would never really keep pushing for that B bomb site if you have 2 fails. At that point, you really want to go for the easier bomb site and really try to grab that more than anything so that you get a little bit of extra time, and that does allow you to continue to make the B push eventually.
All right, well, I'm going to join up in this game so we can give you some commentated matchup of Demolition Scrapyard. We're joining in right now. Guys, let's start up the game. We've got Rush. We've got Influence in here. Everybody's locked, cocked, and ready to rock. I'm pumped, Hastro. I think Rush, I was just listening to them here. They're talking in the lobby right now. They seem cool, calm, and relaxed. They're not getting worked up. I don't hear them arguing with one another or yelling at one another, and that's imperative in matches. You can't let anybody get to you. You've got to stay positive at all times. We are in the championship matchup, so there's a lot on the line, although the losing team can still have the bragging rights of finishing second in the first Modern Warfare 2 Pro Circuit. Once you get this far, you want to win it all. You want to be crowned the champions of the first ever MLG Modern Warfare 2 Pro Circuit. This is event number 1. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bragging rights on the line, along with some cash here.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we're doing here as we look at the map, it's going to be one of those things where Influence can lock this up right here, right now. Rush, their backs are really against the wall, so they're going to have to take it one game at a time. That's something I always tell my teammates, and you hear it a lot among pro players: one map at a time, one game type at a time. You really just have to kind of focus. But I think on the Influence side, they're going to be looking to wrap this thing up right now and go home as champions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Influence is going to continue to come out the gate strong. I can't imagine that they would let off the gas now as they're going to be trying to close it up. But I certainly can't imagine that Rush has called it quits and has thrown the towel in. The white flag has not been risen. I think we've got a lot. But tell me, do we want to should we follow a little bit of Influence this game? The guys are still talking over some things. They're not quite ready to start the matchup. That's all good. Sure. You know how it is. They're getting ready. So while we continue to wait for them, I think we should follow Influence early on since it is now their game to close it up. I just who do you want to follow in particular?
It's wide open right now. Any of the Influence guys could probably come back and carry their team. I'm going to leave that one up to you.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's going to be. I really think the Influence is playing really well as a team. I'm not going to go call out a player right now. I've made my MVP predictions in the past, so you kind of know who I favor. But just seeing what they're doing right now, coming to Scrapyard Demolition, it's going to be interesting to see how well they perform as a team. I don't think any of their players are going to slack right now. It's going to be interesting.
I completely agree with that. So let's just hang out here. They're about to get it going, guys. Sorry for the delay. We are broadcasting this matchup live to you this evening. So we've always got to get the rooms switched over, get the hosts ready, get the guys in the new room. We'd like to make sure teams continue to host even when we do these broadcasts. And there's no reason to hurry. We're in the championship right now. But while I do have this time, I want to talk to some of the guys that are out there viewing. Want to give you some information that's pertinent to you. If you are viewing this broadcast, obviously this is Pro Circuit Online event number 1 coming to a wrap-up since this is the championship matchup. Pro Circuit Online event number 2. Remember, guys, there's 3 of them that are accumulated to the national championship. Registration opens for online event number 2 on June 21st, and ladder play begins on July 5th. So if you're watching, you don't have a team here on PlayStation on the broadcast or on the circuit, now's the time to get in and test your skills against other top players. And like I said, registration opens June 21st, and then ladder play begins July 5th. So make sure you guys, if you want to be involved in this great experience of playing on MLG Pro Circuit live online from home and being able to retain pro status from MLG. That's how you do it, guys. So make sure you check that out. It looks like after that extremely long delay, we've got it finally shaking and baking. We're kicking it off on Demolition Scrapyard, Hastro. Let's do it, baby. We're watching. We're going with Influence, and they are going to be the bottom team. So let's kick it off with our bottom team, Influence. And since you are allowing me to pick here, I'm going to go with Pluto because he was just he was. I know you knew.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. We've kind of been plugging Pluto the whole time, but I guess you got to give the man his props.
Pluto's been plugging himself with these skills, man.
Yeah, he's the whole event that we've had on the playoffs. So, you know, I can't knock your choice there, but you always want to give other people a chance to kind of be highlighted on the stream, and we've done a great job of doing that. Sony's been very gracious to us to allow to show some of these great player skills, but of course, Pluto, he's coming off some fiery performance.
Yeah, he's deserved all the accolades and attention he's gotten so far, and as we've got him on the player camera, he's doing a quick defuse. Rush came out. They did the right thing. They had the right idea, moving quickly and throwing off the game and getting a B plant, but they were unable to set up a perimeter around B to hold off the bomb and allow it to detonate, and Plutonium was able to come in there and get a quick defuse with little to no issues as we see him finally get taken out by Kalani. Player cam switching over to Brink right now. He's been rocking the tar most of this matchup so far, and he's continued it over on Demolition here, and he gets taken out by Kalani with the Kalani is not messing around right now for Team Rush. He's been already causing early on havoc for Team Influence, taking them out left and right. We've got the player camera on Kaz. Again, you're watching the red team. Our higher seeded team, Team Influence, they came into the bracket as a 4 seed, while Rush came into the bracket as a 14 seed. So although they didn't come in at extremely high seed, Influence was a top 5 seed, and they are now placing right now for the championship here. Kaz just hanging out by bomb site B. This is a great move here. The reason that he's hanging out bomb site B is they know that A's on there, and they do not want A to be a distraction and allow somebody to come up on B as Rush just piles through there, and it looks like they might be getting a bomb plant here on B. Plutonium cuts through the plane here. Got to get through the middle of the map. Gets taken out from behind by Reppin here. Spawning in the warehouse. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get that A defuse. 15 seconds on the clock. It's dwindling down to 10 right now. It looks like Rush is going to get a successful plant there on bomb site A. Kaz gets taken out on B, and the players are just dropping left and right as the camera is just a revolving door switching through players right now. Plutonium hanging out. There's a lot of smoke. He wants to make sure nobody comes in as a sneaky beaver within that smoke and gets a ninja plant. And they're setting up Hastr0, the spawn trap we were talking about. Rush has got it going here, and it looks like that's what they did, completed it successfully. Plutonium was able to break away here as bomb site was planted on B now. So Team Influence has got to get it defused, and Rush is continuing to set up here and doing all the right things with. And yeah, no, they're not able to get it there. It was almost a defuse there by Kaz, but he wasn't able to get it down as Jika came up with the to take it out. But Pluto turns it around here, takes out 2 members from Rush. He's going to move up in advance to make sure nobody else pushes through. This will allow another player for Team Influence to get a defuse if he's able to just hang out, keep taking them out on the spawn. Make sure nobody gets a pronade over to the bomb site, and that's exactly what they were able to do as Rush was not able to get that plant, and Influence came up in the clutch to get that defuse, but not a problem, guys. There's still 3 minutes on the clock, plenty of time for Rush to get a plant, Hastr0.
Yeah, 3 minutes on the clock. It's an eternity, really. 3 minutes, and you're really kind of needing to calm your team down and really focus up on that last 2 minutes in the first minute. So that B side is really, really hard to grab. You really have to take out 3 or 4 players on the other team before you can even think about planning it. Even so, you have to time that plant perfectly, because as soon as the other team spawns up across the map, they usually spawn ramp side, and they can get a good Semtex grenade easily across the map and right onto the bomb site. So it's just a really, really tough map, or excuse me, a bomb site to plan on.
Let's switch our player camera back over to Plutonium, still staying on Team Influence. I know, guys, it sounds like we're really tooting his horn, man, but the cat right now, he's 15-8. I mean, he's just dominating right now. So if you want some action here, I think we should keep it on him. Rush is starting to make moves in here to B. There's been a lot of shots exchanged over here on bomb site B as Nightmare was able to come up and clean up Plutonium with that tar. And guys, this is what they need to do. Again, set up in a position where they can get that spawn trap, anything that'll buy them time to get a B plant. But not only do you need to buy time to get that plant, you need to hold your ground as well while the time ticks and the bomb explodes and detonates. Minute 53 seconds on the clock. Brink gets taken out there as 2 rush members enter in small blue warehouse here. Warehouse number 4, and Nightmare gets taken out, takes out Mutation. So a lot of shots are being exchanged here. This is exactly the kind of flurry of gameplay you're gonna see on Demolition. It's just running, gun, game type, setting up in position, and being heavy power slayers. That's the critical move here as we see Rush get a bomb plant on here, and now it's Influence again that's gonna need to set up and take out all of Rush to get the defuse, and it seems like they were able to do that with relative ease as they're probably working on a defuse right now. It looks like Brink's got it. Yes, he certainly does. So Brink's got it. The clock's back to running, and 1 minute and 26 seconds left on the clock. Rush absolutely needs Hastr0 right now to get an offensive plant. That is just going to put them in some comfortable shoes when they get to flip over on defense. It helps a lot when you get early on Demolition in particular.
Yeah, you know, they're going to find themselves down 1-0 if they don't get the plant right now. And if that's the case, they're going to have to come up huge on defense, and they're also going to have to make sure that they're high up in the kill count also, which will be very tough for them to do at this point, seeing as how Influence is playing right now and doing a great job of defending and slaying at the same time. So it's going to be real tough to Rush here. I think they can still have a shot at it. How are we looking right now? Minute on the clock.
Yeah, Rush is definitely leading right now with the most kills. 43 seconds left on the clock. Brink is just continuing to hang out with B, just taking people out with the ACR red dot. Hasn't been a problem for him. He's coming up now. He started out slow. He's 10 and 14 right now, but he was on the move here, trying to rack up some kills for him and his team here. Now he was able to he got taken out, so we're going to switch it back over to Plutonium. Guys, the thing about the player camera, it's always fast moving. As one player gets taken out, another player gets brought up on the camera here. Plutonium hanging out on bomb site B, laying low here right outside the plane. 12 seconds dwindling down on the clock. If they're going to get a plan, now's the time to do it, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. So Rush, I was very impressed with their gun skills and their gunplay, their slaying capabilities, all of the categories coming into this matchup. But Influence, again, was able to step it up late in the match, and they were able to come out with a round win here on defense. So now we're flipping sides here. Rush is going to get the advantageous side of defense, and let's see what they're able to do here right now. Again, backed up against the wall. This is, this is what makes true Call of Duty players, people that are able to rise in adversity, and Rush is trying to do that right now as Influence only needs one more game to win it to be crowned champions, and Rush is going to have to win 4 straight here, but they're doing all the right things. They're taking out players. The communication lines are great. I want to give them props right now that they have not been overwhelmed, flustered. They've been talking, communicating effectively, although sometimes there are intervals of quietness that is not helpful to a team. They have stayed cool, calm, and relaxed, and that is always important to a top team here. So Brink, we got him. He's moving in here, trying to just take out Reppin. Is able to take out Reppin, and he's making progress on bomb site B, but gets taken out by Giga. So they decided to ditch it right there, and Influence is getting a bomb plant here right now on bomb site A.
Yeah, when you switch to the A side here, that's going to be something that they really need to do at this point. Influence is going to try and lock this one up. They have the finals kind of in their hand right now, in the palm of their hand. It's something where you're really going to try and knock these 2 bomb sites out, and if you do, you win the cash in first place, and you're the first ever Modern Warfare 2 Pro Circuit champion. It's going to be a good feeling.
Oh, absolutely. I can't imagine the feeling they have right now, where they're just leading the series and they're playing so strong. I mean, obviously, this is a top team, no doubt about it. They're in the championship. No one's going to be able to sit there and have some kind of valid argument against that. But on top of them being a top player, they are just playing out of their skin. And even on that next level, Influences, I mean, they're just taking care of business right now, and everybody's chipping in. Although Plutonium has certainly carried and has done well for Influence, all these guys are chipping in now. We've got Brink with 17. He's coming back into this game. Mutation with 22 kills, Kaz with 21, and Pluto with 25. And now they're setting up on White Wall, trying to get a spawn trap here. Brink gets some shots, but is able to take out Giga with a nice headshot as they exchange ACR and ump shots there. And now Brink's moving into B here. Sees the red spot towers over here, but it's going to move in. Going to set up here right outside Forklift to try to get him anyone that sets up here. And he said ditching that plan. He's going for a plan, but is unable to, as Giga takes out Brink with a wonderful Semtex, and then Nightmare follows up on Mutation. So Influence, they keep making that push, that progress into B, much like Rush did when they were on offense, but they were unable to get a plant there this time. So setting up, re-racking it right here, seeing if they're going to be able to push. They're going to move a little bit slower here, try to keep the team together and move as one strong wave through here. But Rush is answering back with everything they've got to offer, as they were able to take out 3 of the 4 Influence players, and Reppin was able to clean up the last Influence player, Plutonium there. And now again, they're going to respawn, refresh. Rush is staying on top of their toes, and they keep answering every wave and every push that Influence has to throw at them.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. If you're on the defensive side and you manage to take 3 or 4 players out on the other team, you're able to get kind of a gauge of where the other team is going to be coming from when they spawn back in, and you can easily communicate that to your teammates. So let's see what they do right here. If they are able to kind of scope out where the other team is spawning and pushing, and it should be kind of to their advantage for Rush.
Absolutely here. Again, though, like I said, Hastr0, they just keep answering every wave that Influence has to throw at them. If Rush is able to continue this for another 2 minutes, they are going to be able to get a round win here. But you can't count Influence out yet, guys, as far as this round win here, because they have been so hot, so quick, and they want this so bad. They are only 1 round win away from being crowned champions, as Plutonium almost gets a bomb plant on B, but Giga is able to follow up with a nice Scar kill and take him out. So now again, they're starting to set up on this left side. They keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing this left side. I like the idea, but I think maybe sending 2 to the left, 1 or 2 off to the right here on white wall, as you see Kaz is in broken right now in the plane, and he's moving through middle. I'm sorry, correct me, he was at L, now switching over into broken, coming through here, and he's causing a havoc in this warehouse. That's what you have to do, guys. Just stopping him at the warehouse is what's going to give you the time to set up and plant on B. And it looks like Influence is starting to get the right idea now, as they are taking out everybody in their path here. And all of Rush is now falling, and it looks like they're going to get, they got set up. They're getting a B plant, but Reppin, nice shoot, takes out Kaz and Plutonium. They got a little relaxed there right there, Hastr0. They thought they cleared everybody out, and they were able to plant, but Reppin was able to shoot out from the top window there, take out some of the guys. That was huge right there, absolutely huge on behalf of Rush. With 42 seconds left on the clock, Influence time is dwindling down to get a plant here on offense. Guys, if they're unable to get a plant here, it's gonna go into overtime. Hastr0 explained to what happens in overtime with the teams and how sides are picked.
Well, it's the same thing as Search and Destroy, Fwiz. The team with the most kills and the highest kill-death ratio collectively between their 4 players is going to have the defensive side. And as we see here on Scrapyard Demolition, the defensive side is kind of the advantageous position you want to be in. So you are rewarded for having the most kills and the highest kill-death ratio with the defensive side. And that's going to be a great thing for whatever team comes up with that kill-death ratio.
Absolutely, 1 second left, and that's it for it. So, although Influence made some valiant efforts to try to get in there, try to set up that spawn trap and get a bomb site plant on B, they were able to do it twice, but they were quickly defused and answered by Rush's call. I want to give props to Rush, as they were solid right there on the defense. They did everything they had to do to get that round win, and they executed it precisely and according to plan. So I want to switch our player camera over to our blue team, Team Rush, since they were able to answer the call. They are playing as our top team here, Op4 and Reppin, as you saw, just as we kicked over the blue cam, was taken out on B. I don't know if you were able to catch that. Giga playing it smart here. He's got Marathon Lightweight. They're trying to move quick. He drops a smoke grenade on it, but Brink answers the call by taking out Giga with a headshot. So we switch our player camera over to Nightmare, cutting through middle. He's been rocking the tar. It's been working well for him. He's moving through L plane. And let's see what he can do here. He kind of cuts zigzags across here, and he's going to try to set up, try to take people outside, coming to the other side, moving into A. Doesn't take any shots, even though he sees somebody through the player cam here. Nicely executed right there by Nightmare, as he takes out Kaz in the corner and follows up with a 2-piece on Plutonium, and Brink doing all the right things, Nightmare is. I'm liking that we switched to him on the player cam, but he was able to be taken out there as Influence between Mutation and Kaz took out the entire team of Rush, man. This is close, 1 minute and 40 seconds. Guys, remember, they do need that time extension. So at some point, you gotta pull it and say, hey, we don't want to get this B plant early. Let's get A, guys, to get this time extension. And it looks like that might be the game plan, but they seem to want one more push at B, and this is either going to make or break this game. We've seen it before where Rush tried to get B for too long, and it ended up going against them where they did not have enough time to get B or A, and the clock dwindled down, but they continue to go for these B pushes. It's a very aggressive call, but I'm not mad at it right now, Hastr0.
Yeah, and you know, we're tied 1-1, you're in overtime. I think Rush is figuring, what do we have to lose? Let's go for the surprise and keep pushing B. But at the same time, you don't want to get too greedy, because if you do that and you lack bomb plan at A, you're going to run out of time really quick. So let's see what happens here. This could be great for Influence if they manage to hold this bomb side off, and they will be crowned our Modern Warfare 2 champions for the first season. So it's going to be interesting to see what Rush has to offer. They're going to have to get a bomb down pretty quick.
Rush needs to answer right now. They don't have much time. 40 seconds left on the clock, a little under it now as it dwindles down. They're focusing on A. Jigga is able to get that plant off at A. That's exactly what they needed to do. Now that they have the plant, they're going to need to hold it because Jigga's by himself in here and comes up clutch with Marathon stopping power and the up to take out Mutation and Brink. That was game-changing right there, guys. Believe it when I say it, because that bomb would have gotten defused if Jigga was not able to get the two-piece. And now Jigga is just going off on these guys. Set up on White Wall, taking them out of Warehouse, and he's playing out of his skin right now as the leader of Rush. He's the guy to do it. If nobody else is going to do it for his team, he needs to be the guy that's going to answer the call. And now they've got bombs planted at A and B as they set the spawn trap up. Jigga with the two-piece. Is he able to answer with the three-piece? No. Mutation takes him out with the Semtex, and Mutation follows up on Reppin with the ACR. This is still huge, though. Kalani tries to come up, keep him off of B. They got the A plant, guys. It detonated. They got the time extension. Huge Semtex by Nightmare to take him out on the bomb. Jigga comes up with another clutch kill on bomb, and where it looked dismal for Rush, guys, that they were not going to be able to get a plant, all of a sudden they answer, and they take out A and B swiftly with really no ease, with relative ease once they got those bombs planted. Excellent play by Rush by just coming in, causing confusion, and flustering Influence there in overtime. On offense especially, I mean, Influence had it made there. They had defense on Demolition Scrapyard, and all of a sudden, Rush just came through like a powerhouse, Hastr0, to take the win round there on game number 8, man.
Yeah, it's just an awesome thing to see, Fwiz. It's just great. You were just flowing with that game right there in the call. I think that's what it meant right there. To everybody out there watching Call of Duty, and if you pay attention to the competitive scene, you got to appreciate what Rush just did. They came through with their backs against the wall. We managed to get both bomb sites down, and when you see an individual performance like that, that is just truly something to be proud of, especially if you're Rush. So, you know, they're coming back right now. They're down 5-3 in the map count, one map at a time, like I said. Let's see if they can pull it out in the next game type.